Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Specialist Performance Tester certification. We are getting started with a brand new chapter, which is chapter 4, going to talk about performance testing task. What exactly is performance testing lifecycle, and it will be covered as a part of 4 different topics. 4.1 planning, 4.2 analysis, design and implementation, 4.3 execution, 4.4 analyzing results and reporting. So which seems to be exactly the same as the software testing lifecycle or fundamental test process, whatever you call, but it is all related to the performance testing lifecycle, and understand that how exactly the performance testing activities and tasks are organized at different stages of the lifecycle of a performance. Getting started today with the first part of the planning, that is 4.1, and talking about the very basic concept that how exactly test objectives can be defined. As a part of this tutorial, we'll be getting started with the planning, which is the first section of this particular chapter, and this topic will be broken down into 3 different parts, and this is the part 1 of this. Deriving performance test objectives. Of course, it plays a vital role in terms of determining that what should be the objective of the performance testing when it comes to defining certain scope, that what all things to be tested. You do understand that performance is something which is limitless and can be exhaustive at certain point of time. And you cannot really satisfy yourself with the expectations of performance from an application. So defining the real test objectives for the performance testing is pretty important, and any individual working as a performance tester should contribute or look forward to the importance of defining the test objectives much earlier during the test planning phase. Now, stakeholders may include users and people with a business or technical background. They may have different objectives related to performance testing. Stakeholders set the objective, the terminology to be used, and the criteria for determining whether the objective has been achieved. So here we are talking about involving separate out different stakeholders to come up with various possibilities and objective sets. Then we finalize with certain conditions which will be called as your objective, and simultaneously look forward to the entry and exit criteria to the overall executions. So that's where it's really important to involve stakeholders from various backgrounds, which will definitely add a lot of value to have a clear expectations at the beginning, and also to have a very amazing set of end goals and objectives for the performance test. Objectives for performance tests relate back to these different types of stakeholder. It is a good practice to distinguish between user-based and technical objectives. Of course, objectives from user point of view could be different, and from a technical point of view could definitely be different than that. Probably the end results are same, but the objectives can be set from a user point of view or technical perspective. User-based objectives generally focus primarily on end-user satisfaction and business goal, where users are less concerned about feature types or how a product gets delivered. They just want to be able to do what they need to do. So very straightforward when it comes to a user-based objective. This is completely from a end-user perspective, that how they will be using the system and what they really will be performing in order to achieve their end goals. Now, technical objectives, on the other hand, focuses on the operational aspects and providing answers to the questions regarding a system's ability to scale, or under what conditions degraded performance may become apparent. So here again, technical completely goes from the backend point of view, that what kind of architecture will be used, whether this architecture will be useful enough to scale in future, as we do have some future requirements from the customer, a lot many other things here. So key objectives of performance testing include identifying potential risk, finding opportunities for improvement, and identifying necessary changes. So these are all pretty much things which we generally target as a part of defining the objectives, including the risk, including the opportunities for improvement throughout the performance testing, and identifying any particular necessary change which must be adding value to your process. When gathering information from various stakeholders, the following questions should be answered. And they are: what transaction will be executed in performance test, and what average response time is expected, which is a very hardcore question, very common question to begin with on setting up your objectives. Second, what system matrices are to be captured, which will help you to achieve these analysis and also present that in form of result as an outcome of performance testing, and what values are expected on these parameters or matrices, which could be acting like a SLA or threshold for you, where you can define. And this metric could be anything. You talk about hits per second, transaction throughput, network throughput, memory usage, any sort of thing which you're trying to look forward to. Also, to add, what performance improvements are expected from these tests compared to the previous test cycles. And you can also target them, that is, comparing every single cycle which is being performed with those of the previous, and then making sure that every time we come up with a new iteration, there is some improvement, and minimizing your mistakes or minimizing your approach in terms of enhancing it every time you conduct it. So putting it all together, at the beginning of the test planning, you set up your test objectives for the performance testing. Without an objective, you cannot have an effective plan with you. Even if you have a plan, probably things might be quite messy. You cannot really determine that what are you finally looking forward to as the end goal. So that's all from the part 1 of this particular tutorial, that is planning. We will be getting back to you with the part 2 and talking ahead about the planning activities in detail. Let's look forward to that. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.